There's too much happening. We need to practice. Let's get started. Hello, you gorgeous and sexy human. Welcome to Practice Intimacy. This is the place to be to learn all about love, sex, and how to have the best relationships you possibly can. And today we need to talk about something that's going on in the world, because I actually think that sometimes things happen in the world that make it impossible to just think about sex and love and having the best relationship you can. And instead we have to think about the global community, which is part of having an intimacy practice. It actually all translate as you work on becoming a more intimate human, becoming more internally connected. Then what goes on is, first, your relationships get better. You have a better relationship with your partner. You know what you want in sex and how to move towards that. But then also you become a better relational person, which makes you more safe. And as you do that work, it makes the whole entire world more safe. Right now, I cannot think of who said it, which is really sad, but be the change you want to see in the world. Doing an intimacy practice is all about becoming the change you want to see in the world. Partly because we all are connected, and partly because when you know how to do your internal work, do you have more influence on every single person you meet, and then that ripples out. And so the thing we're going to talk about is what's going on over in Russia and Ukraine. And it's possible that you're in such a space of overwhelm right now after being 2 years into a pandemic that you don't even have the capacity to pay attention to what's going on in Europe. But I think everyone at this point knows that there is a war breaking out. There are people dying. There is the potential for a world war if this continues. Who knows what's going to happen? All that's clear to anyone who's watching is that there is so much pain happening right now for so many people, and that lives are in danger. And if you are paying attention to that, my guess is it feels so unpleasant. You have to watch because it matters and you care about others, but it feels so unpleasant to be connected to what's going on over there. And so what I wanted to do today is a practice to help your system come into greater intimacy, but still be able to hold how much pain there is. Physiologically, we are not built to want to move towards pain. We are built to want to move away from pain. And we have enough empathy often to connect with people and want to help them. But there's only so much that a nervous system can tolerate in being empathic before it goes, nope, this is too painful, I will move away. Our systems are built to try and seek comfort and pleasure. And so sitting in discomfort and pain is not natural to us. And what I want to offer today is a practice from Tibetan Buddhism. It comes from that lineage. And it's really grounded in Tantra philosophy, but it is a practice that was created by an Indian Buddhist back in, I think, 980 CE. And Tonglen, that's the practice, Tonglen is meant to be a receiving and giving. That's actually what it means. It means taking and giving. And what you do in this practice is you take in pain and you give compassion. And so we're going to do that together. This will not be a long practice. We'll maybe spend 3 to 5 minutes. And then I'll give you a little bit more information about why this might be useful in your whole entire life, not just whenever big things happen in the world. That's often whenever I use this practice in my own life and with clients, but even whenever smaller things are happening. This is a great practice for depression, chronic pain. I've done this practice with people who have erectile dysfunction and are struggling to hold that pain. And really what it allows us to do is come into a space where we're not overwhelmed by the heaviness that is often present in the world. There is never going to be a moment when there isn't some kind of struggle, pain, hurt in your relationship, in your life, in the world. It's always going to be there to some extent. And so doing practices like Tonglen will help you come into a space where you can stay centered and grounded even as that's going on, so that you can be a compassionate, loving anchor in this world when everything else is hurting. Okay? So let's do the practice. You're welcome to close your eyes. You can take a soft gaze down, whatever feels better to you. And start by just picturing something that captures the pain. So I'm actually going to start by picturing the people who are scared and hurt, the buildings that are falling apart, that they're trying to pull people out of because of bombs. I'm even picturing the Russian soldiers who are invading Ukraine and the fear that they probably have. And then, of course, all the people in Russia who are not supporting this, how much pain they're feeling around, I don't know what to do. And as I'm picturing that, I notice like almost a black cloud. It feels like this stormy cloud. There's some purple moving through it, but it's mostly black and it's twisting and turning. And in my body, I just want to cry, thinking about the lives that have been lost, the people who are terrified, the uncertainty. And now that I have a whole picture of the pain, I'm going to breathe that into my body. I'm actually going to try and pull it into my being with an inhale, holding it inside. And what I'm picturing is my system almost digesting all of that pain, taking the blackness out of it, taking the sharpness out of it, feeling all of the grief. And inside it's turning into gold light, which I'm going to breathe back out and imagine just sending compassion and care towards all the people who need that, towards all the people who have lost someone, towards all the people who have lost their homes. And then again, inhale, pulling in the pain, pulling in the tragedy, pulling in the deep, deep fear that so many people are experiencing because of this. And fully feeling it. I'm just holding that inside my body and internally transforming it, creating love, creating kindness, creating a golden light. This time it's got a little bit of pink in it too, which I'm going to just imagine sending out to these people. And then inhaling pain again. Really fully feel how scary, how sad this situation is for the people who are going through it. And then with an exhale, imagine sending them compassion, sending them your care. Internally knowing this matters. You matter. The fact that you're going through this matters. And I care about you. Let's just do it a few more times together. Inhaling and pulling in the pain. Holding it in your body. Fully feeling how sad the situation is. And then on the exhale, sending out love, sending out compassion, picturing the different faces that you've seen. In my mind, I'm getting flashes of young people in Ukraine who are saying, we're not going to back down, we will continue fighting. I'm seeing their president trying to hold everyone with love and compassion and care. I'm seeing an old woman who was particularly touching to me. She had her hair covered and she just looked so scared, and I'm just sending that love, sending that compassion, saying, I see you. You are not alone in this. I care about you. And then again, inhale, pulling in pain, letting yourself fully feel it. And seeing that dark, sharp pain turning into compassion, softness, light, love. And on the exhale, sending that to the people who need it. And then take just a moment where you feel yourself in space. Notice what this practice was like for you. How do you feel after it? And then slowly coming fully back, opening your eyes. If you want to, you don't have to open your eyes. You can keep them closed. But let me just explain why this practice might be a useful one. First, I want to share that the Dalai Lama actually has said that this particular practice, Tonglen, is the most powerful meditation that people can do. It's the one that is most needed in this world. And I actually agree. Here's the reason. It is hard to stay in pain with others. Our system actually moves away from it, either through othering someone. So there's my group, the in crowd, and others. And we reject people if they cause us pain. I'm thinking about here in the States, any white person who refuses to accept that racism is still rampant in this country. That is because they are unwilling to accept the pain of another. They cannot take it into their body and feel it and meet them with compassion. There's a rejection of that pain. I can't take that in. It's too painful. Seeing myself, seeing this country as racist, I can't do it, which perpetuates the cycle and the system. Or what happens is you feel the empathy, you feel the crisis of people dying because of invasion and war, and there's an immediate reaction to do something to almost assuage your guilt. Like, I'll donate some money and now I've done my part in this process and I can let it go and not be affected by the pain anymore. And I'm not saying everyone does this, but this is a natural thing. It's a natural instinct inside of us to either shut out and avoid pain or throw something at it to try and fix it so that we can move past it. And what this practice does is an intentional invitation. I am willing to feel the hurt, the fear, the anger, all of it. I'm willing to feel that with others so that I understand and I can breathe out compassion. I can give compassion towards people experiencing this kind of turmoil. Rather than having to shut that down inside myself, I can hold it, which I think would help everyone on this planet. If we all learned how to hold each other and hurt more, it feels very tender. Like, it makes me want to cry. I actually have no idea what that would look like, but it sounds so hopeful to me to imagine a world where we can all hold each other in pain rather than fearfully rejecting it, which is in our nature. It is hard to hold pain. And so it's something you have to practice. How do you cultivate the ability to tolerate hurt and still stay in love? And that is all that you are doing with this practice, Tonglen. Let me know what this was like for you. Leave me some comments below about what you think about this practice, about what I'm saying, about how you're doing in these hard times, because I know it is challenging. I know it is. I genuinely think the only thing that will help us all through this is compassionately holding each other. And you can only do that if you have the tolerance to be with discomfort, be with pain. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content like this and other things. We do talk about the lightness, the sex, the pleasure, all of that. But you cannot have pleasure without talking about pain. It's just not possible. And so we will hit all the topics of intimacy here on this channel. I'll see you next week.